Good afternoon, Aggies. The volleyball team's playoff fate is determined. Cross country heads to nationals, and a former Aggies turns pro. I'm Jacob Russell.
And I'm Michael Faget. These stories and news on women's basketball and an in-studio interview with Coach Tom Webb are up next. It's time to go in the huddle.
Cameron's volleyball team ended its season on a bittersweet note last weekend, needing to win out and have East Central lose. The team split their last two games against UCO and Southwestern Oklahoma State. The team ended the season 17-12, a three-game improvement from last season. While losing 5 seniors this year, the team looks to remain solid for the 2010-11 season. In the Huddle congratulates head coach Breanne Smedley and the team on a winning season.
5 seniors on the volleyball team were named Aggie of the Week last week. Lindsey Carroll, Laura Ellebrock, Jalea Jansen, Lindsey Pazook, and Sydney Stewart earned the recognition for their contributions to the team over the span of their careers. You can go to Cameron's athletic website, goaggies.cameron.edu, and click on the link Aggie of the Week to watch an interview with the seniors. And the Huddle congratulates them all on being named Aggie of the Week.
Former Cameron baseball player Josh Barnett signed with the Southern Illinois Miners. The center fielder was one of 3 players who were drafted and signed after the team held tryouts. In the Huddle was able to talk to both Barnett and baseball coach Todd Holland about the signing.
Went out there and did what I needed to do and signed, and it's just a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, and I'm excited. I'm just excited I can play baseball and extend my career.
There's a lot about Cameron baseball and the team we had that, hey, they have kids that can play at the next level, and, you know, we should be looked at and considered.
Congratulations to Josh Barnett on signing with the Miners.
Cross country added more pages to the record books last weekend at the NCAA D2 Regional Championships. Regionally ranked 10th, the team finished 5th in arguably the toughest region in the nation. This year's turnout is a major improvement from last year's when the team finished 15th. Sophomore Julius Career led the Aggies again by finishing 4th in the race, which qualified him to compete in the NCAA D2 Championships in Evansville, Indiana on November 22nd. Regionals finished the cross-country team's fall schedule. They resumed their schedule in the spring.
This year's cross-country team has been one of the strongest running teams in Cameron's history. With record finishes at the LSC Championships, Regionals, and a bid to compete at Nationals, the team has made its mark on Cameron athletics. In the Huddle talked with the team about how they prepared for such a successful season. Earlier this semester, the Cameron cross-country team had the opportunity to do something it had never done before, host a cross-country meet. Although the meet was hosted by Cameron, the race housed classes as low as elementary up to senior levels. The conditions were not desired ones, but what hindered the host, in turn, helped the runners.
You know, it poured on us, so it was good for the runners because it wasn't quite as hot as normal, but as far as volunteers and spectators, it kind of put a damper on things as far as that goes.
Talks have been underway to keep Cameron a major part of this annual meet.
It looks like it's going to rotate between us and East Central possibly, or maybe even staying here permanently.
The cross-country athletes put on a great show. Julia's Career eventually ran away with the victory. The win was great, but to Sports Information Director Craig Martin, a small part of the big picture.
They're just doing great now. They've won 2 meets in their history. They finally get to host one, and you know, we hope that it can be an annual thing, and they can, you know, just attract more and more and bigger and better teams every year.
The cross-country team maintained the regional rankings throughout the season and look forward to more success in the future. With CUTV News, I'm Jacob Russell.
Women's basketball kicked off last weekend against the University of Tulsa in an exhibition match. With some players injured, the team lost 81-54. Guards Love Rattler and Josie Stewart led the way with 10 points each. The team completes their exhibition schedule against TCU on November 11th in Fort Worth. With us now is the head coach of women's basketball, Coach Tom Webb. Coach, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
We just talked about the season opener against the University of Tulsa. What did you like or dislike about that game?
Well, it's a great experience for our kids. I think number one, to compete against maybe bigger, faster, stronger. Dislike, well, you know, you don't like to turn the ball over 37 times, and you want to out-rebound opponents, so those two things are big for us.
Now, you had an all-guard lineup that I saw for the starters. What led to that lineup going into the game?
Well, number one, Amber Schroyer, she's out. She's a good post kid that's returning for us. And number two, we try to reward the kids that we felt that had worked hard and earned spots. We'll probably have a different lineup again on Wednesday against TCU.
Now, you have some players injured. What's the injury report looking like? Who's out? How's that going to change up the roster?
Jessica Priest and Natalie Colton and Kelsey West all played against Tulsa. They'll be back again. They're getting healthier. All three of them had kind of pre-existing nagging injuries. Both Cece Rundles and Kelly Wyrick will be out for the year. Or Cece will maybe be back January maybe, but Kelly will be out for the year.
You also have some young players. Alexis Williams started. Shawnee Hoosier came off the bench. What have they been able to contribute to the team as you see the season progressing?
I feel very, very pleased with both those kids. Alexis is a kid that is kind of a scorer. She can slash. She can shoot it. She's improved her three-point shooting. She's a kid that I think is so athletic, and she can make a difference. Alexis is a good player. Charnay's improved leaps and bounds every day, and if she continues to do that, her athleticism lends to a lot of positives.
Alexis Williams, a guard, kind of coming in to replace some of the leadership and abilities of Christy Taylor. How has she been able to help that spot out?
Well, hopefully what we'll do is kind of pass the point guard position a little bit to Love, but Alexis did play some point guard. We'd like Alexis to get out on the wing, run, score, get to the rim some, get to the free throw line, attacking the rim, and then let Love and maybe Josie Stewart a little bit lead our team as far as verbally and those kind of things.
Now, all these new players, 11 new players, 4 returners, how's the chemistry been so far for the team?
It's been good. I think you need a game, though, for those, to see chemistry, to see how kids play together, to see how kids function together. They get along great off the floor, and they do a really good job that way, but you still need those 2 or 3 exhibition games to kind of get a feel for you.
You talked about Amber Schroyer earlier. Will we see her on the floor this year?
You know what? Amber's going to, I think she'll even play on Wednesday. She's going to come back to practice today, which is a couple days, and she's going to play a little bit on Wednesday, get her feet wet. The nice thing with that is she knows most of the system. She understands what's needed of her, and she's very experienced. So we'll get to see her a lot this year. That
should be huge, especially with Jessica Priest and Kelsey West out. How is she going to be able to contribute on the floor for the team?
Well, we'll have a true 5. We'll have a kid that is physical inside. Now, Charnay Hoosier will be that maybe in a year or 2, but physically she just has a lot of things. She's a thin, athletic kid, so it'll be nice to have a post presence, and I mean a physical post presence. She'll help us a ton inside.
Well, thanks, Coach, for joining us. We wish you and the team a successful season.
No problem. I appreciate being here.
Let's take a look at what's happening this week. As we discussed earlier, women's basketball heads to Fort Worth to play TCU on the 11th. Men's basketball starts its season on the 13th against the University of North Texas. Women's basketball then plays Newman University on the 17th to close out the week. Jake, basketball's in full swing on campus now.
Can't wait. I feel like I got a basketball Jones. Sorry to quote Space Jam. I've been sitting on that one the whole show. I can't wait. It's going to be an exciting year. It's great. I can't wait.
It's exciting, especially when you have 2 rosters that are full of new players and new talents. It's going to be interesting to see how the year goes, don't you agree?
Oh, it's going to be very interesting, but I think we'll see a lot of constant progression throughout every game, constant gelling, chemistry. Like we said, both teams are young and new, so they haven't played together much. But just like Coach Webb just said, it takes games to see that, and I think every game they will continue to progress and be impressive.
Now, we talked about women's basketball. Let's go to men's basketball real quick. A couple of crucial injuries. Venetius Taylor is out for the season with an Achilles heel. Donovan Jones out a couple of weeks. How do you see that helping or hurting the Aggies?
There's no way it's going to help, especially Tello being out for the year. I don't see how that can help them at all. As a versatile and athletic a big man as he is, he's a threat from anywhere on the court. And then Donovan is just an athletic jumper who can go out of the gym. So I don't see it helping them. Maybe when they get Donovan back, just getting that little bit of play time for the backups. But it's going to be tough. But I think they're athletic enough and good enough and well coached enough to play through it.
We'll see how it pans out on the 13th against the University of North Texas. That wraps up another episode of In the Huddle. To watch this episode along with other CUTV programming, log on to youtube.com and type in CU Internet TV. There you will find the latest episodes of In the Huddle, This Week in SGA, and Top of the Hour.
For more sports updates and stats, go to the Cameron Athletic website, goaggies.cameron.edu. Check out what's going on in your Aggie sports.
We want to give a special thanks to Sports Information Director Craig Martin for helping make In the Huddle the show for Cameron Athletics.
We also want to thank the CUTV crew for their help in making this show possible. So for everyone in here, the CUTV studio, I'm Jacob Russell.
And I'm Michael Faget. We'll see you in the Huddle.